Welcome to Act 2, Episode 2 with Sam and Carly.
Today we're going to talk about what makes an actor an actor. Is acting something that you do or are? Carly, would you like to start on that?
That's a very tricky question, Sam. Is it something that you do or something that you are? I think it could be both.
I think it could be both. And I think, I feel like I am an actor. I think it's always there in my brain, whether I'm in something, whether I'm, planning to be in something, auditioning for something, it's always pretty much at the forefront of my mind.
Kind of defines you.
It does a little bit, and
yeah.
But with other jobs that I've done or whatever, it's never taken up as much space in my brain. But then I've never really cared about any of, a job was a job to earn money to survive. Whereas
when people have asked you what you've done, would you have said, I'm a waitress, I'm a receptionist, or would you have always said I'm an actor?
I think after a few times of not being taken seriously as an actor, you just say, oh, I'm a receptionist, or whatever you're doing at the time. So yeah, but personally, for me, I know. But I think if you haven't got anything to back it up with, back in the day when I was flailing, you say you're an actor. Oh, what are you doing then? Nothing.
Yeah.
I just feel like one.
But that's because I think of how it's defined in our society. When you talk about something that you are, in our culture, it's about what you do for a living. So you are that person because you're getting paid for it, whether it be a doctor, a teacher, a lawyer, whatever. That you say all those things because that's what you do. So if people ask me,
and that is what people mean when they ask you, how do you earn a living?
When they're saying, what do you do? What are you for? I would say I'm a counsellor because that's what I do on a daily basis to earn my wages. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say I'm an actor, but actually, thinking about the question that you've just said, I act a lot, and so.
And when you're not working, do you think about, like, working as a counsellor? Do you think about work a lot? Do you take it home with you?
No, not really. No.
I don't know how you manage to switch off.
It has to stay where it stays. Has to for
your own mental health.
One, for my own mental health, but also for each of my clients, because for me to give wholeheartedly to that client, I then have to put that client over there so I can then give wholeheartedly to my next client. So I'm then, and it's not a hat that I put on. It's not a case of turn on a switch and I'm now in counsellor mode. It is just something that you are, something that it's a way of being with those clients. But when that job is finished, I then go into other roles, and then I guess I go into being a mum, and then when I go to the theatre and go to a rehearsal, then I go into being an actor. I guess I just haven't thought about it that deeply.
That's sort of a trait that an actor needs in a way, isn't it?
Different roles.
Yeah.
Hadn't thought of it like that.
And also, I've definitely brought characters home with me before.
Yes. What characters have you brought home with you, Sam?
Well, actually, I can remember a lot of the time I'd struggle with accents. So when I was doing Calendar Girls, I had to work on my being a bit more better spoken. No, they didn't do Northern.
No, they didn't do Northern.
No, so better spoken. So because I live in an area that I've always lived and grown up in, I didn't feel like I could posh it up without being ridiculed. So I took myself off to Cornwall for a few nights, and I went overboard. I went down there like this, and I came back like the Queen. And honestly, it was ridiculous, but it really helped. Just interacting with people in a really posh accent.
So you mean when you were in Cornwall, you only interacted with people with that accent?
And it
you went a bit method.
I'm method. That's why I trained. But it really really helped being surrounded by strangers, and I had so many comments as well. I was like, oh, where are you from? And I go, Essex. Oh, you don't sound like you're from Essex. I know. People always give us a bad rep, but actually, some of us do speak like this. I was being ridiculous, but it really helped my confidence with the part, because I didn't have a chance to. I could do it in private, but I can only do it so much with my husband before he's all right, Sam.
Yeah.
He's very patient, but actually there was another play, but I didn't have the opportunity to go off on my own for a few nights, so I just did an American accent. Went out for dinner with my husband. He was like that, hiding behind the menu.
Was this when he did his American accent?
Yeah, he was actually. Yes, I was making fun of him Because no, he was making fun of me in my bad American accent, and I was like, "You do it then, go on." So he picked up the menu and he's like, "Bangers and mash." I was like, "There, see, now order it to a real person."
But that's
yeah.
when we're talking about in terms of something, whether acting is something you do or something you are, and whether do you become an actor. I think if you act, you act, and if you're in a role in that character is with you until that character is finished, almost.
Yeah, I think it's different questions actually, because the question originally was about do you feel like an actor as a whole? What does an actor feel like? Well, for me, an actor feels like whatever character they're taking on at that time. And yes, I do bring those characters home.
So the actor feels like feeling like an actor is feeling like a character, being the character.
So, yeah. So when people say what how do you earn a living or whatever, if I'm acting at that time, that's what I say. But I suppose back in the day, if I didn't have anything on, I didn't feel like an actor.
Yeah.
I suppose. I don't know. It's quite a deep question.
It is a deep question. And I think it's one that could have many answers depending on what actor you're talking to.
Yeah, I think that is interesting about your job with the compartmentalising though, because that is a skill set.
And I wonder whether that is why I'm a bit like I've said this to you, that for me, when I'm being a character, so when I'm rehearsing that character and when we're performing it in the actual run of the show, I'm completely connected to that character. But once it's finished, she's gone.
Yeah, because
she's gone.
Stephanie.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, how did that not carry over into your life? Stephanie was a poorly woman who was bitter and had all sorts of sadness going on. How did that not affect your life? But you've got the training in your therapizing to help from this.
Yeah.
I could do some of that because
I mean, it did
taken things home for sure.
That role did take it out of me. I'm not sure I could have done it.
Yeah, but that's like draining you. It's tiring.
It was tiring emotionally, physically. So I don't know how well I would have compartmentalized that if I'd had to do that for a very long run. When we think about some shows that are on and you're doing it.
Yeah, would you toughen up to it, or would you become quite?
Or would I become? Because it was a toughie, and I was ready. It was okay when the run had finished and
you were buzzing off
I was buzzing off it, but I was also ready to say goodbye to her. Yeah.
I remember did a short film about, it was quite dystopian. You had to be in a relationship or married or earning a certain amount of money before you could have children. If you accidentally got pregnant, you had to have an abortion. That's the law.
Wow.
And so that my character, she worked for the force who enforced abortions on single people or poor people, and that was quite Alice. She was in it, amazing. She forced her to have an abortion. That was sad. And then I found out I was pregnant, and I didn't think I could get pregnant. And then a drone drops off my abortion pill. And the day after the shoot, I was going to India with my husband for a 2-week holiday, and for a good 24 hours, he thought there was something wrong with me. Like I didn't want to go, or I had the ump with him, or something. And I was like, I'm absolutely fine. I'm excited. But I didn't realise it was still the sadness of it all. It was just there. But I think since then, that was 2019. I think since then, I'm a bit more aware, a bit more. Okay, I've just done that, so I'm probably feeling a bit like that. And he understands as well.
It takes a while to shake that off you.
Yeah. But I don't mind it. I don't mind it. I think see it out. This is part of my
process. Part of the process. Yeah. And it does stop. It does. That character and the feeling does stop.
Yeah, but like you say, if you do a run of it, I wonder if you put a stronger barrier down, or it takes you.
Yeah.
When you hear stories about some method actors, especially, who can't switch off, I think it's really important.
But I think that must still be like during the time that you're playing that character. Once the character is over and it's finished, yes, there might be a delayed response, like you said. There's a bit of the side effects, if you like, from it.
Like you've just had a bad dream. Or
but they do go. They do stop. But then
they don't become you.
No, they don't become you. And actually, that's the thing. That's what we're saying. That actually being an actor is, you feel it. You are it. So So you can stop being a character, but do you think you can ever stop being an actor? It will always be
either.
No. I can't imagine. I can't imagine coming to a point where I don't want to do it
I was
anymore.
say, have you ever wanted to stop? Have you ever been like, I don't want this anymore?
No. It doesn't mean that I haven't stopped. I have stopped, but it doesn't. There was never a time that I actively chose to stop.
No.
I didn't say, no, it's not for me. I don't want to do this.
No.
That didn't happen.
Not going to happen.
Not going to happen.
Upwards, baby. So when you say you've stopped before, life just happened. So what brought it back?
So it kind of came back because, well, acting actually, it was always been there in one way or another. So although I might have stopped actually performing, I was still in the world in terms of like assisting with drama clubs and teaching and things like that with with kids. And then what happened was I went traveling, and when I went traveling, I overcame lots of different fears, pushed myself in ways that I never thought I would, and achieved things that I never thought I would achieve. It's life changing.
Traveling. I just think everyone should do it, but that's a bit naive.
Well, no, it isn't for everyone. It isn't for everyone, but it was definitely for me, and I loved it. And I did things like, well, I did totally. Like I learned to scuba dive, and then not only which I never thought I would do because I was terrified of the sea. And then not only did I learn to scuba dive, I pushed that further and did deep dives, which are more dangerous. And then I did night dives, which are terrifying. And I did all of that.
I'd do it, but
yeah. And there was a current in one of them. Well, I won't bore you with that. This is about acting. Well, one of the night dives, there was quite a strong current, and so we were just being moved constantly, and so that's quite difficult to swim with, and you're being pushed onto some of the coral, which is sharp, and everything looks different at night time. It's amazing, but so I did that, and just things like just going in caving and being on the back of motorbikes, and just loads of things that I never thought I would do. And then when I got back, there was an opportunity to get involved in a community project that was acting to celebrate the local theatre.
Oh, the Palace.
Yeah, and I hadn't done any performing for ages, and I was terrified. But I thought, Carly, if you can dive and you can be in water with sharks, which I was terrified of, and you can do all of these things, you can get back on stage and do the thing that you love. I'd almost that little phrase that which I don't agree with, by the way, those who can't teach. I don't agree with that at all.
Those who can't act, teach.
Well, it's like those who can't do, teach. But I don't agree with that at all. But I think you fall into a little security blanket of I'm behind it now, so I can watch you do it. I'm not going to do it because and I lost my confidence. But I thought, what am I doing? This is something I love. I love it, and I love doing it. So why am I letting myself not do it when I have felt the fear with those other things and done it? So I went along to the audition.
So what year was that?
2012. Yeah. I think
14 years ago.
I think it was 2012. We got back in the show went on in 2012. I don't know whether the audition was in there or whether it was 2011. I can't remember.
Pretty active since then, pretty
constantly since then. Yeah, haven't stopped since then.
That's a long old. You've been an actor a long time.
It's a long old time. Long old time, love. But you've never stopped, really, have you?
No, never stopped acting. I put pushing professional acting to one side. Me and my husband opened a restaurant, and I was very proud of it. It did very well, but in that time, I was in other plays, short films. I set up a film company so that I could, continue doing it. And then I just thought, why am I not pushing it?
Because that again was being on that side of it, wasn't it? Setting up the film production company. Sometimes you were like, hold on, why am I on this side? I don't want to be on this side. I want to be on that side.
And it wasn't wasn't a well, I suppose it was a I don't know. I mean, there was incidents that pushed me to stop. I was making bad choices. I was making bad decisions. Things weren't going how I wanted them to, and I thought, you know what, I don't want to fall out of love with acting, but the business is hard, and I'm not sure I've got this.
Yeah.
So I tried something else while still training and acting just for the love of it. But this takes up too much time, and I don't think it's fair. And this isn't a poor me thing, because I know how privileged I am living in the country I live in, and got my health and everything. So I know how lucky I am. But why not? Why do I have to do this job that I never wanted to do? It's not for me. Why have I put? I just couldn't quite answer my own question in the end, and then I just,
which then made you make a different choice.
Yeah, and then I was like, no, I'm going to give it another chance. Things actors do without realizing. Do you do any of these things? Please comment below and let us know if this is you. Do you people watch constantly?
All the time.
All the time.
And turn them into characters.
Yeah. Try and work out a backstory, what they're doing. Oh, cheating. She's cheating.
Brian and Mavis on the way to their Sunday shopping after having wild sex last night.
Dirty little scoundrels. Are they really innocent looking?
Really innocent, yeah. Love it. Love doing that. Love it. So funny.
How else do you know? How else do you know if you're an
actor? Copying accents.
Trying to, yeah.
Sometimes, without realising that you are, I morph sometimes. Kieran tells me off. So, not all accents, because I can't do all accents. Not very good at accents, but certain accents. I remember when we were travelling, actually. God, if we met Australians, oh God,
no, you're one of them.
I can't help it. I don't even know I'm doing it, and that he would be constantly sat next to me going, "Stop it, stop it, stop it," and I'd be like, "What?" And it's because I just started to, just to kind of, I didn't know that I had just listening, because it wasn't this obvious, because I can't do it how I would do it. It was that what would happen, I think, listening to them, my intonation would just start going up at the end, like anyway, and I do it with
I'd love to see you in India after 3 months.
I was in India for over 3 months. Did
you pick up an Indian accent?
No, I didn't do the Indian accent. But that's what I mean. I didn't do the Indian.
American or
Northern. I do copy a Northern accent.
My cousin was Northern, and when I used to go and stay with her, I would try it, and she would just be like, "What are you doing? That sounds dreadful."
Well, the ones that I just copy are the ones, like that I morph. But the ones that I actively try and copy are the ones that I can't do. Scottish, Irish.
Sometimes I can nail it. Other times I sound Welsh,
Japanese. I used to teach with an extracurricular drama group with a woman who's Scottish, and sometimes she would just say the odd word, and I would just look at her and like she might say like bugger, and I would just go bugger, and she'd go no, no, it's terrible. Bugger. I can't do it. Or if I did, then I'd go, why? What? What?
Yeah,
what am I doing wrong? She'd just go, it's just terrible, Carly. You can't do it. Mother. I can't do it.
Do you ever think who would play you in the life of Carly?
Who would play me? Well, it's got to be somebody who. You always sort of go higher than you are, aren't you? Right? Go. Expectations are high. Scarlett Johansson.
Oh, go on, girl.
Someone gorgeous. And talented. Gorgeous and talented. Who would play you?
When I was younger, a couple of people said look like Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
Back then, which dark hair, dark eyes, it was quite an easy one.
Tall, thin, beautiful.
Yeah. But do you do it with other people as well?
As in cast strangers in other films?
Yeah, I don't think I do that so much.
No, I don't do that.
Think who would play me or my husband or.
Yeah, who would play? Oh, I know who would play my husband.
Let me guess.
Someone that I think he looks like.
Oh, I'm sure you've said before.
He wouldn't agree because he would choose someone. He would say Christian Bale because he thinks Christian Bale doesn't look like him.
No.
Jamie Dornan in the fall. So Jamie Dornan was in 50 Shades of Grey. Not in that. Doesn't look like him in that. In the fall with
Gillian Anderson.
yes.
I can't think of the.
He plays a psycho.
It was someone that looked like Gareth from The Office. No, I'm thinking of something else. I was to say, don't think that's. What am I thinking of then? I think there were two versions of The Fall.
Oh, was there?
Yeah, and one was a very tall, skinny, not overly attractive man. But that's your husband's. He's a good-looking man.
Look at my husband getting a good-looking compliment on our YouTube page. Big up to the Kieran. What about Jimbo?
Now, he has told me who he'd like to play him, and it's one of the Ryans. Either Ryan Gosling or Ryan... What's the other one?
There's several Ryans, isn't there?
Think of one other.
I can't, because in my head I had a football player.
Ryan...
There's Ryan Felipe, but he's older.
No. I think it was one of the Ryans. I can't remember.
Let's go with Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
He's wicked.
Who's the one married to the actress? No, okay. Don't know. But you're Scarlett Johansson, I'll take Catherine.
Yeah, all right. We'll have those. Yeah, please.
Mind?
If you don't mind, Scarlett.
Okay, I'll play myself. Don't worry, Catherine. You're fired. You're fired. Wow, that felt good.
Yeah. Analysing television acting instead of watching the programme.
Oh, God.
All the time.
I can't watch something if the acting's bad.
Terrible. No. And do you have this, that if you do watch something when the acting is bad, do you get a little bit resentful?
Oh,
do you get the whole how?
I could have done that. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yes.
Or even if it isn't, I could have done that. People that I know that are actors, I'm like,
no, I don't think that. Nah, they can sort themselves out.
True to form. True to form. She is. Love it. No, I do think that of other people. When I I do. I'm like, why is he in that role? He would be brilliant in that role. Yeah, I do that.
Yeah, no, it can completely ruin stage, TV, films, anything. Like,
I think stage is worse, because if you're watching a program or a film and you think the acting's awful, you can just turn it off. I have a thing about walking out of a theatre.
Oh no,
I just don't like.
The last result.
Just don't do that.
Yeah,
and so
it wouldn't be nice if.
No, I don't.
Look out and suddenly you see some empty seats.
Absolutely not. I will stay to the end and I will applaud. But there have been times that I have sat there thinking,
you shouldn't be there. No, that's not true. There's a platform for everyone. There is a platform for everyone. But if you've got, so there's a play on and one person stands out as really bad, that's irritating, because it brings. It's not like.
But in the professional world, I mean, I do. So what we were saying when you're watching it on television and you're saying that resentfulness of why are they in there? I do that. I've been to professional theatre productions and thought, how?
Yeah.
With all the choice of actors that there are out there, how did this person get cast and paid?
That is a wider question, isn't it? Because a lot of the time.
But then does it come back to, that kind of beauty is in the eye of the beholder? Some people will watch. It is so subjective. Some people.
Not like being an electrician where it's you fix it, you do this, and you do that, and it's done. It's perspective.
It's interpretation. Some people's interpretation will be that person nailed that role, and other people will be like, oh no, they really irritated me in that role. But that's the beauty of the art.
Something controversial. I don't really like Marlon Brando.
Okay,
but I'm obviously wrong.
Well, no, you can't. To go with what we're saying, you're not wrong. You are allowed your opinion.
No, he's one of the greats, and I just don't.
You can't see it.
No, I don't see it. I couldn't understand a word he was saying in The Godfather, so I turned that right off. Last Tango in Paris, you could predict all of his movements before he done them. He was just. I just.
But do you think that could be because television then and film then has evolved so much?
Oh, it definitely has. But I can watch an old film like all the Joan Crawford's, Betty Davis films. I know I'm biased, but I can appreciate them for their talent. Even though some of the Betty Davis ones, she's very theatrical. When she cries, there was a lot of this and some of that, but you still believe a character.
Yeah.
Whereas Marlon Brando, I think as well, some of the things I've read about him, maybe that's tainted my opinion, because I've heard he used to have his lines pinned up.
Oh yeah, I'd
around
heard that.
him.
But do we know how true that is?
No. I don't have a real, source.
No.
But anyway.
Well, anything else about the acting brain? Things that actors do without realizing.
Things that actors do without realizing. I mean, yeah, you were saying earlier about you just bust out some quotes sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Especially when you're in a play and something will happen and it'll be relevant, and you just start quoting lines from a play.
When you start quoting lines from a play, but in real life.
Yeah.
So we had that conversation earlier. We were saying something, and I said a line from an old play.
What was it?
Change is always messy.
Change is always messy.
Change is always messy, but quoted it from the
relevant. They're educational, aren't they?
Yeah.
But yeah, Betty and Joan. I mean, my line that I took from that was, "She's a movie star. She's a movie star." So it's relevant.
It's relevant, yeah. So sometimes it's quoting the lines that actually are in conversation. Sometimes just coming out with randoms like that.
Yeah, it's good to have one on the go, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
I love that. I love referring. It's like
an in joke.
It is an in joke.
Yeah,
it means so much more.
Yeah. And one other thing is doing things. So when I'm playing a role and I'm thinking about the character or learning the lines, I can be doing those lines in public without realizing.
Oh,
like
really?
So yeah, like if I'm on a bus going somewhere, so I will just be thinking about the script and I'll be saying they're like mouthing the lines to myself. So people probably don't ever want to sit next to me on a bus because they think that I'm just having a conversation with myself. But also walking along, I was saying to you earlier,
you can get away with that now because people just have tiny little things in their
ear. It could be on the phone. Yeah,
exactly. So I think you can
pull that off. Maybe not the one I was telling you about earlier when I was on the school run and when we were in Betty and Joan, and I was thinking about Betty's walk.
Yeah.
And so as I was thinking about Betty and the walk on the school run on my own, I started to try out the walks and feel, oh yeah, that feels about right. And so almost walking differently and perhaps quite oddly on my way to pick up my children.
So you would have been walking a bit like you had a bad back.
But still funny to watch, I think. If somebody knew you and they just happened to pass you doing that, they would go, oh, look at Carly, she must be. Yeah, exactly.
I did have a little go at that down Two Tree for when I was playing a man. I was sort of bowling around. I tried to experiment with giving him a limp and stuff like that. So yeah, I definitely do that. But I was aware, like, okay, do it down on the dog walk when there's around. But yeah, getting caught up on the school run.
Yeah, funny.
Yeah.
Or maybe just trying out an accent and like you were saying when you were in Cornwall.
Oh yeah.
And trying out an accent so you actually just speak to people. This is things that only actors would do things like that. You start speaking to people in a different accent to see if it's believable. But I don't think any other hobby profession would have somebody who's these things that we're talking about.
Spy?
No, you wouldn't be trying it out though, would you? You'd have perfected it before you do it.
Yeah. Trainee spy?
Who's pretending that they're just an actor?
Who's pretending they're a spy?
So I think that's several things funny things that actors do without necessarily thinking about
normal civilians might not quite understand, or maybe they do anyway. Maybe they're actors and they don't even know it.
Yeah.
But let us know if you have any strange little quirks, shall we say, as an actor.
Or if you know an actor who has a strange little quirk
habit related to acting.
Yeah, we'd love to hear about it.